Good evening, everyone. MLive's Brendan Quinn here at Breslin Center following Michigan State's 77-66 win over visiting Iowa. A lot of good stuff to take from this game, namely all four freshmen finishing in double figures for the first time this season. Maybe could be considered the next step in this team kind of finding its identity or what it's going to look like or needs to look like down the closing stretch of this year as they try to secure a 20th straight NCAA tournament bid. Other positives would be the way that Michigan State in the second half finally kind of looked a little bit more comfortable dealing with Iowa's changing defense, particularly their three-quarter court and full court pressure. In the first half, Michigan State, they knew it was coming, but still got way out of sorts with it. The key to dealing with pressure like that is to attack it, not let it come to you, but to go at it and find the gaps and turn it into easy baskets. That is what was able to be done at certain times in the second half. There were still a couple turnovers, but far more effective, kind of trying to use that pressure as a benefit for itself in Michigan State's case. Now the negative, and it's one easy word: turnovers. This is becoming more and more of a kind of disconcerting issue when it comes to this team. 21 tonight, 21 against Michigan. You can't beat really good teams with that amount of turnovers. There were 12 in the first half, 9 in the second half. It could have been more. A shot clock violation in the first half was not counted as a turnover. This is a problem, and it's one that a lot of it just comes down to simply a team deciding it's going to take better care of the ball. This wasn't some frantic, defense forcing turnovers and going at them and getting up in state and intercepting passes and doing all this. This was just bad plays by Michigan State, often turning into turnovers. Tom Izzo in his post-game press conference kind of looked at his wit's end with it, said he will not live with it, said he will find a way, and if it means, and this is what I think certainly needs to be the case, if someone turns it over in practice, they pay the price for it. Whether that means running to the top of this building, or whether it means running around this building, doing whatever it may be, there needs to be, at this point, because of the issue that it is currently on February 11th, there needs to be instant accountability right now, because they are going to lose a game that they shouldn't because of the turnovers right now. If they continue to do this, they are going to lose a game that they shouldn't lose, and the number one reason why will be turnovers. And when you're a team that's fighting for not only a seed in the NCAA tournament, but just a spot in the tournament, this can't be your biggest issue. Shooting yourself in the foot can't be the biggest issue. If you go out one night and you go 4 for 21 on threes like Iowa did, those things happen. You have off nights. But if you're throwing the ball away, if you're just being careless with the ball, that will cost you. And Michigan State has already seen it. And they were trailing at halftime of this game, and it was directly relatable to 12 first half turnovers. Where they go from here on that, I don't know. I think it needs to come from steadier rotations. I think it needs to come with better point guard play, namely Cassius Winston, because he needs to be the guy with the ball in his hands. He showed it in the second half tonight. And when Tum Nairn is in there, the same goes for him. And then everyone else, it's just a matter of you can't slip into careless moves. Do anything. If you get doubled down on, instead of just tossing the ball across the court, take a timeout. Do something other than what they have been doing. So we will see. It'll be interesting Tuesday night when Ohio State comes into this building for another game, if that can be the thing that Michigan State addresses. And I think it needs to be addressed early in games. The bulk of these turnovers over the last 5 games have come in the first half, and they get figured out in the second half, which means that it is doable. This team is capable of not turning the ball over. It's a matter of doing it. So we'll see. Tuesday night, Ohio State. Michigan State improves to 15-10 tonight, 7-5 in the Big Ten. They are alone in 5th place. We'll look to stay there with a win over the Buckeyes, and I will be there to tell you about it. As always, until then, thanks for watching.